Hello, this is me. I'm Axel Video. I'm just leaving this message for you guys and doing this video just to talk a little bit about aspies and empathy, because there's been a lot of videos talking about that aspies don't have empathy at all, and I don't agree that it's true. The people said, like neurotypicals tried to say that aspies don't have, someone with Aspergers don't have empathy, and like neurotypicals, anybody that isn't doesn't have Asperger's syndrome, which is everybody else, like can experience empathy like intuitively. And I don't know. For me, it's like I almost think that Asperger's and people with Asperger's and myself, like personally, like I can feel empathy intuitively without even thinking. It's just like I just feel a sense of energies. When someone walks into a room, I can tell if they're having a bad day or a good day, or I can feel their emotions and their feelings. But I can't determine that as much by looking at their like body language, their facial cues. It's just something that comes instinctively to me. Neurotypicals, on the other hand, like which is everybody else, they don't have that intuitive sense to have empathy for someone and just actually feel what the other person was feeling, like why they did what they did, or why their behavior is what it is. And I think that's because I think most of the time, like neurotypicals, they just have to, because they don't have that intuitive sense to have empathy for other people. They have to really like develop like tools and ways, like kind of like a second language, on how to pick up on how someone's feeling their emotions, because they can't read minds, and they're not as good at sensing that those intuitive energies of like what that person's feeling. So they have to come up with social cues and within the society that everybody goes by to help distinguish, okay, this means this emotion can only be represented by this facial expression, and so on. And they kind of have like symbolism there, and it's just like, and so like the body language all has to be a certain way, like your facial cues, you have to react all a certain way, otherwise they get confused because they don't have that intuitive nature, that intuitive empathy. And also another thing about neurotypicals, they don't have empathy. Like true empathy is someone who basically who you have to have true empathy is to actually be able to feel what someone else's feelings, feel the feelings and their emotions, and really understand why someone behaved the way that they did when you don't agree with it yourself. You're actually like feeling that other's feelings, but you don't have that feeling at all. Like a lot of times neurotypicals mix up sympathy and empathy. They'll sympathize with someone. They notice, okay, I feel bad. I feel something happened. I feel sad, and you feel sad too. Well, that means I can empathize with you. No, that's not what it means. What it means is that you're just sharing an emotion with someone else. You already feel sad. It's not like they're projecting their sadness onto you and you're again feeling it. Which empathy is someone's projecting their emotions onto you and you feel it. Which is why most aspies like myself, I can empathize with a mass murderer, or like someone who goes into a school shooting and shoots up a bunch of kids. I feel sad and bad for the children that died, or like the people that died, or the people that were murdered. Or when people get hurt, I feel bad. But that's not empathy. I sympathize with the victims. I don't empathize with them because I already feel I already feel sad. I empathize with true empathy is where I empathize with Adam Lanza, because I do not look at a school full of children and just want to shoot them because of my experiences. I don't have that the emotion that he has. I don't feel the same thing he does. I'm only projecting onto them, and then I can only come to the conclusion where I think, why did he do that? What could have drew him to that point? Most neurotypicals would just say, because they can't empathize, they would just say, oh, he's just crazy. Just normal, rational people don't think like that. And I try to think outside the box, is like, what drove him to do that? It's not what he did necessarily isn't that wrong, because what bad had to happen to someone for them to something really bad had to happen to them for them to feel like that desperate where they want to take their own life and take out as many people as they can. And we just need that sense of compassion and everything, and that's just something that neurotypicals don't have, that real empathy that we have, or aspies, someone with Asperger's syndromes have. That's just my thoughts on empathy. It's really kind of backwards, or from the popular opinion, what most people think, from what neurotypicals think. And I guess, we are kind of like at odds, because we're speaking from, there's like two sides, neurotypicals and Asperger's, and people with Asperger's can empathize with each other. We feel what each other's feeling, and we understand each other. Neurotypicals understand each other, but there's like a gap that we need to bridge, the connection with, so we can stay connected instead of be divided, or get connected instead of be divided. So until we do that, I think one side is always going to accuse the other of not having empathy. But that's all what I have to say. Leave your comments of what you have to about your opinions, what you think about this topic on Asperger's and empathy. Have a good day.